Today we are going to be reading Book 5, Winnie the Pooh, the Honey Cake Mix-Up. Oh, this sounds wonderful because I love to bake. Oh. One wonderful morning, when the breeze was scented with new spring blossoms, Winnie the Pooh sat on a log waiting for Roo. I know I promised to help Roo with something today, said Pooh. I just can't remember what that something is. As Pooh licked some honey off his paw, he said, Now I remember. I promised to help Roo make a honey cake for Kanga's birthday party. Oh, here he comes. I'm glad that he remembered. Just then Roo arrived, ready to begin pouring and measuring and stirring and baking. The little kangaroo happily bounded inside and watched as Pooh peered into his cupboard. Said Pooh. We have honey and eggs and butter, but we seem to be missing something. Perhaps we should go ask Rabbit what it is. I know he's baked before. Goodness gracious, said Rabbit, looking at his cookbook. A honey cake is easy to make. All you need is honey, butter, eggs, baking soda, and flour. Ah, said Pooh, that's what we're missing, the flour. Pooh was sure that Rabbit meant the kind with petals and leaves. I'll give you the flour, said Rabbit, but I'm all out. That's all right, said Pooh. Roo and I can find it. Thank you for your help, Rabbit. Do you know the difference of flour to bake with and flowers that you smell with? And so Pooh and Roo strolled into the woods searching for the perfect flour for Kanga's cake. A little while later they ran into Piglet. We're looking for a flower, announced Roo excitedly. So was I, said Piglet, and I found a whole bunch of them. He proudly held out a small banquet. Would you mind showing us where they are? Pooh asked. Not at all, said Piglet. I'll even help you pick some. Well, what a good little helper. Look at the pretty purple flowers that he has there. Those are very nice. Pooh and Roo picked some flowers, then went to Pooh's house. Then they mixed them up with the eggs and butter and baking soda and honey and poured the batter into a cake pan. They put the pan in the oven, anxiously opening the door every few minutes to see if the cake was rising. It wasn't. Maybe we used the wrong flour, suggested Roo. I think you're right, Pooh agreed. And so the two friends headed out again to find a different flour for Kanga's cake. Oh my! Look at all those. It seemed as if they looked at 100 different flowers. Roo especially liked some tiny yellow ones he saw in the grass. Those are buttercups, said Pooh. We don't want to use those because we already have a cup of butter at home. That's kind of funny. After a while, Pooh and Roo decided to go see Eeyore. Oh, good, Eeyore said. Visitors. Or when you're on your way to someplace else. No, said Pooh. We came to see you. We want to get your advice about something. You do? Said Eeyore, surprised that anyone would want to ask his advice about anything. Such as what? Flowers, cried Roo. Thistles, actually, said Pooh. How do you think they would taste in a cake? I don't know, said Eeyore. Why don't you taste some for yourself? Eeyore led his friends to a small patch of purple thistles, but when Pooh bent down to pick a flower, he saw that it was covered with prickles. Remember from the other book that thistles have stickers and prickles on them. Oh my. Pooh said, thistles are sort of prickly, don't you think? I suppose, said Eeyore, but the prickles would give your cake crunch. Pooh imagined the prickly cake the thistles would make. It does not look like a cake I would make. What about you? Would you eat that? Not wanting to hurt Eeyore's feelings, Pooh said, You know, Eeyore, this is such a lovely patch of thistles that you should have it all to yourself. Roo and I will find another patch, but thank you for all your help. Well, that was very nice. He didn't want to hurt his feelings. After they left Eeyore, Pooh and Roo bumped into Tigger, or rather Tigger bounced into them. What you doing, Buddy Bear? Tigger asked Pooh. We're looking for the flower to put in Kanga's cake, explained Pooh. Do you know where we could find one? Roo asked hopefully. I know where you can find the tiger lilies, said Tigger. They're actually called tiger lilies, but he called them Tigger lilies. Pooh said, You mean tiger lilies, don't you? Well, some folks call them that, said Tigger, frowning, but these tiger lilies have bounce. Any cake you put them in is sure to rise. What do you think, Roo? Asked Pooh. Do you want to put a Tigger lily in your mama's honey cake? Oh, yes, said Roo, jumping up and down with excitement. She'll have the highest, bounciest cake ever. As soon as Pooh and Roo got home, Pooh mixed the Tigger lilies with the other ingredients. Pooh let Roo stir for a while. Then he poured the mixture into a pan. Before Pooh put the pan in the oven, Roo said, It looks kind of funny. Pooh stared at the lumpy orange mixture. That's because it's not cooked, he said. It will look different once we bake it. See, it's not cooked yet. It's still raw. Oops. Get over there. But when Pooh took the pan out of the oven, nothing had changed. Oh my, said Pooh. This doesn't look like a cake at all. It looks like carrot soup. Roo peered at the goo. What did we do wrong? He asked in a worried voice. I think we should go see Rabbit again, said Pooh. He'll know how to fix it. Rabbit's very smart. Once Rabbit saw the soupy mix, he said, "Oh, Pooh, you forgot the flour." "No, I didn't," said Pooh. "No, we didn't," echoed Roo. "Then you must have used the white kind," Rabbit insisted. "Oh," said Pooh, "I see." But he wasn't quite sure that he did. "Don't worry, Roo," said Pooh. "We still have a few hours until Kanga's party. We'll find a white flower in no time." As they were searching, Owl flew overhead. "Hello, Owl," said Pooh. "Do you know where we could find a white flower?" "Would a white rose do?" Owl asked. "Christopher Robin has some roses in his garden. He might have a white one." "That would be splendid," said Pooh. "Yes, it would," said Owl, sitting on a branch. "By the way, did I ever tell you about my great Aunt Rose? Well, it really is quite fascinating how, as Owl chatted on, Roo and Pooh slipped away. Because Owl has all kinds of stories, but they don't quite have time right now to listen to them. A little later, they found Christopher Robin, who had been back in his garden. "I was wondering," said Pooh, "do you have a white flower to put in Kanga's cake? We already have the other ingredients." "Silly old bear," said Christopher Robin. "You need white baking flour, not a white flower with petals and a stem." "I do?" said Pooh. "My mother has some in a tin," said the boy. "I'll get it for you." While Christopher Robin was getting the flower, Pooh and Roo admired the roses. They stuck their noses into the blossoms, breathing in the sweet scent. "Mmm," said Roo, "they smell like Mama." Soon, Christopher Robin appeared with the tin. As Pooh stared at the white flower inside, Christopher Robin said, "It's okay, Pooh. It's easy to make a mistake, especially with words that sound the same." "You're right," said Pooh. "Flower and flower. No wonder I got confused." This is the kind of flour that smells pretty, and this is the kind of flour that you bake with. "You had a good idea, though," said Christopher Robin. "I'm sure Kanga would love to receive some flowers for her birthday. Here, why don't you take her these roses? Then you can give her a bouquet and a cake." That afternoon, Pooh and Roo used the flour Christopher Robin had given them to make a wonderful, tall, golden honey cake. When Pooh took the cake out of the oven, Roo breathed deeply and said, "Oh, it sure smells as good as a flower." Mmm, he smells it. Pooh's happy, and they have a wonderful cake. Later that afternoon, at the party in the woods, Roo gave the honey cake and the bouquet of roses to his mother. "Thank you, Roo," said Kanga. "What wonderful presents these are. And to think that you and Pooh made the cake all by yourselves. Why, you really are quite a pair." There's her bouquet of flowers. There's the wonderful cake. And Pooh and Roo. And look at everybody else that came. Piglet and Rabbit and Eeyore, Christopher Robin, Owl, and Tigger. And Tigger's got all these presents. Look at all those. I guess Piglet has a blowhorn. And of course, Rabbit has carrots. Oh, Eeyore has a balloon tied to his tail. But Tigger has all the presents. Pooh began to imagine himself and Roo as big green pears. He must have looked confused, because Christopher Robin said, "Not that kind of pear, Pooh. Kanga meant the kind of pear that means two, not the kind of pear that you eat." Pooh and Roo and Christopher Robin giggled just a little, then sat down to eat big, delicious slices of Kanga's honey cake with her friends. Well, that looks like one wonderful party. Very nice. Well, I don't know who has a birthday party coming up next, but I hope that you have a wonderful big cake and that you use the right kind of flour.